But here we are, tail of the tape, a George combat break, at 19 years of age, 170 centimeters tall with an official weight of 122 pounds, 70 fights to his record, a Muay Khao fighter indeed, taking on a Petch Mongkol, 24 years of age, 166 centimeters tall with an official weight of 122 pounds tear. So here we are for the first round of action in center ring. Petch Mongkol in the blue, George combat break in the red.
That is the bell for round number one, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Of course, we have George in the red and Petch Mongkol in the blue. The first round, like we said, is a feeling out process, trying to get the read on your opponent, trying to get the timing and the rhythm down. A nice teep for Petch Mongkol. George already landed a jab upstairs. Look at the height difference in this fight there.
Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. Viewers may be a little bit confused, but George is actually from Thailand. Whilst he does look English, I do believe he is half Thai, half English, and actually speaks perfect Thai. His Thai is very, very, very good indeed. As he teeps Petch Mongkol across the ring there in the early stages of this fight.
Both fighters in the center of the ring, just biding their time, trying to get that read on their opponent. But as I was saying, George's height difference is absolutely phenomenal in this particular matchup because he can really use that jab to keep Petch Mongkol away from him and then engage in the clinch when he's ready. But as you've already said before, Joe, a taller fighter who likes to knee can really get a lot more impact on that knee.
That's right. They get a lot better leverage. If they get the plumb position and drag the back of the head down, they can step back and drive that knee through the head. But even in 50-50 bicep control, they have the advantage of opening up more space and driving the knee through the solar plexus.
Very nice jab of a right hand landed by George. Both fighters seem to have found their range quite early on in this fight, and that might be due to the fact that they've already had a fight before. Petch Mongkol landing the teep downstairs, but Petch Mongkol looks very, very calm. And when you're a shorter fighter against someone who's a lot taller than you, the best thing you can do is make yourself even shorter and just be more explosive with your attacks.
Now, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would be guessing that Petch Mongkol in the later stages, maybe even perhaps in the second round, is going to go for a bit of a Muay Mutt strategy, which is punch, punch, low kick. Go for the left hook to low kick, which would be the strategy I'd be using against a taller fighter like George, especially being so lengthy in frame. Try and take the supporting leg from underneath him, puncture the tire where it stands, chop the tree where it stands, like a lumberjack, take it from the bottom, and that is the end of the first round. Make sure to stay for the next four. We'll be back in just a moment.
Both fighters seem to have got their range and the reads on their opponent, so we're going to see in just a moment how are they going to use that against one another. Of course, we do have George in the red corner, the taller of the fighters, and of course in the blue corner we do have Petch Mongkol. This is the second round, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, and both fighters already picking up the pace in this second round.
And just as my crystal ball has foreseen, I can see Petch Mongkol going for that front leg. Anytime that George throws that left kick, he goes downstairs for that front leg as well. Just trying to get a read on it at the moment.
A nice double jab by George. So George doing a good job of sending that jab out, finding the range, disrupting the rhythm of Petch Mongkol, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Stick that jab out, block the vision of Petch Mongkol, and then send that teep to the midsection. What you cannot see will hurt the most.
That's right. Beautiful little stabby teep there from George as well, but Petch Mongkol returning the favor. I do like George's long right kick slapping onto the arms, trying to take out the punching power of Petch Mongkol. Just sends it up ever so slightly, doesn't try to put full power into it, but once it starts to rack up, it will tend to hurt and your arms tend to drop. What will happen is he'll try to send the head kick over the top, and I'll tell you what, he's got the length for it. That's right, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job of that. He's not attacking the head, he's attacking the arms, and it's a very much a veteran move to stop headhunting and just go for the target that you can actually hit, which is usually the arms. And it's definitely a forgotten move in boxing and combat sports, which is hit the guard. The guard isn't going to move, so keep attacking at it. But you can see Petch Mongkol is doing exactly what you mentioned, Joe. He's going low with the kicks and he's going hard upstairs with the hands.
That's right, and pushes off. He's not engaging in the clinch. He pushes off straight away and tries to go for the leg kick. Very smart strategy there by the man in the blue, Petch Mongkol.
George using a cross guard when blocking the shots from Petch Mongkol, so I don't think he's used to the flurries of Petch Mongkol, and he's got to be very careful that George doesn't just actually send a teep down the middle when Petch Mongkol marches towards him, but some nice whipping low kicks for Petch Mongkol, and George's vision and his movement is going to be affected now.
You can see George starting to respect the leg kicks now. He's looking a little bit more concerned about those leg kicks as they come firing out from each counter underneath him. Skips in, tries to go for the elbow, follow up with the kick on that last exchange from George in the red. That is the end of the second round. We'll be back in just a moment for SKS Empire Super Fight. Don't go anywhere. Lab in the northeastern provinces of Thailand.
Well, thanks, Leonard Joe. We are now going into the third round where we are about to see some absolute action. Both fighters definitely need to impress the judges in the third round. George in the red, Petch Mongkol in the blue. George lands a nice right hand over the top, but Petch Mongkol once again with a teep.
And make sure to stay tuned for the next one. Upcoming bout number 5, Nuclear taking on Mongkol Chai at 103 pounds. Very light indeed. Explosive action. Just like here for round 3. Trying to get the right position inside the clinch to fire off those knees from George as he tries to push the pace here. But finding it hard to find the range with Petch Mongkol firing off those teeth, but inside the clinch now, fighting for position.
Ironically, Joe, considering these fighters are Muay Thai fighters, this is the first time we've seen both fighters starting to knee one another. So clearly, they tried to go for a different style and realize, let's go back to what we're used to. As Petch Mongkol catches the kick, and both fighters now in the knee warfare, which is exactly what we was waiting for.
I mean, sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to go back to what you know. You could try and change it up, but you need to go back to your fundamental roots. And that's what they're doing right now. Back in center ring, engaging inside that clinch, the close range quarter combats that they know so well.
Halfway through this round already, and we're seeing some stabbing knees and elbows inside the clinch, and a nice right knee landed by George to the solar plexus.
And takes him to the ground, but George getting the upper hand on that one as he threw Petch Mongkol to the canvas. Nice hand control there by George. Just putting the double tap out and redirecting the hands to get a lock on.
Some nice work by both of these fighters. George wraps his elbow around the back of Petch Mongkol's neck as he sends knees in. The referee pries them apart and brings them back into central ring. Less than a minute to go of round number 3.
Beautiful kick to stall there from George as well. Cross blocking him straight through the center leg. Oh, into the pocket as our referee breaks them apart to continue the action on the outside.
And this is exactly what we was expecting to see as Petch Mongkol attempts a sweep. George slightly tumbles to the canvas, and we're back into the action. 30 seconds to go of this round.
Great save there by the referee a moment ago as well. This is why they're the best referees in the world. Big head kick to teep there from George. Now pushing the face guard across in the clinch. Sends the right kick through. Bang! That is the end of the third round. We'll be back in just a moment for more action.
In the judges' favor.
That's why I'm such a big fan of the referees. They're just so athletic here in center ring. Oh! Big head kick up top, low kick down below from Petch Mongkol, going back to the first and second round strategy, it seems.
We are in the fourth round, folks. We have got George in the red, Petch Mongkol in the blue. It seems like an even fight so far. George definitely marching forward, but eats a right hand from Petch Mongkol. The sweat goes flying into the audience.
Big knees in center ring. Tippy-tappy, just trying to rack the points up there from George. Bit of a compromising position. Very 50-50. Nice teep there from Petch Mongkol, pushing George back, trying to gauge the distance to send that leg kick through.
George is just absolutely massive inside that ring, and he's just marching towards Petch Mongkol, using it to his advantage. And look at him there, Joe, doing exactly what you mentioned. He's pulling down on the neck of his opponent and driving those knees in.
Fighting for position here inside the clinch. George doing a good job of trying to drag that head down, getting that leg over the top to nullify the action.
Back in central ring, halfway through this round already. We are in the 4th round, scheduled for 5 of this main event fight. George just dragging down on the neck of Petch Mongkol. Both fighters even inside the clinch.
And a good lock there by Petch Mongkol as George pushes the palm across to disrupt the breathing, tries to send the elbow through as our referee breaks them apart to continue the action.
What a veteran move there. George blocked the vision of Petch Mongkol and then attempted an elbow over the top. Just a beautiful move. If it landed, it could have been lights out for Petch Mongkol.
You could see George trying to set up an elbow there as he was dragging that rear arm down to Petch Mongkol, but not quite finding the timing. Marching forward, straight into the clinch as we go. Tries to send an elbow over the top again. Drags the head down.
Upward elbows, downward elbows. George is firing off all cylinders. Petch Mongkol now kneeing the ribcage of George, but is it enough? Less than a minute to go of round number 4.
Nice teep there from Petch Mongkol to break up the rhythm here. George on the forward hunt, absolutely relentless in his pursuit, pushing that head down as our referee breaks them apart. But George not letting go. He just wants more and more and more. He wants to take the gas tank out of Petch Mongkol and stab those knees through, right through the midsection.
This referee has got his work cut out for him. He is definitely involved in the action there. And that is the end of round number 4. We are going into a 5th. Don't go anywhere. This is our main event, and we have one more after this. George did not take a step back, and he continued going forward. We're going into a 5th.
Here we are, George on that forward Muay Thai march. Nice high hand, lifting the leg up to mitigate any leg kicks from Petch Mongkol. A fair bit of Vaseline on the back of Petch Mongkol's head there.
3 minutes to go to prove yourself. George doing a good job, but eats a charging elbow from Petch Mongkol, and that Vaseline on the back of Petch Mongkol's neck definitely going to take away the grip ability of George.
If grip ability were a word, stabs the leading jab straight through the guard, follows up with a kick. Little bit of a low blow there, but not so contentious enough that they both acknowledge it.
It's that matter of respect between two people who have that area, and if you've hit them down low, even in Muay Thai, it's not an illegal move, but it's that level of respect to know, look, I know that hurts and we'll take some time off. Both fighters think they've won this. We're now seeing a bit of a stalemate. Both fighters think they're protecting their points. It's an even fight so far. It's hard to say who's won this fight, and we've seen this in many fights. It's been so close that in the 5th round, both fighters think they've won it.
And that's what I love to see in the sport of Muay Thai. The amount of respect the fighters have for each other. More respect than you and I have for each other, but
100%.
a great display of sportsmanship here in center ring.
Yeah, as we've always said, when there is a close fight, when you're inside a fight and you know it's close, it's very easy for you to think that you've won that fight. Even if it's clear to the viewer that you're not winning, when you're in that fight, all you're seeing is the person in front of you.
Petch Mongkol dancing it away, trying to put the forward pressure on George here. Just trying to find the moment to move in. George obviously on the back foot here, being ever careful about any forward attacks from Petch Mongkol. Now, nice dancing here. I love seeing this in 5-round Muay Thai. Just acknowledging each other. Good sign of sportsmanship. Beautiful work by both fighters.
Some great moves as well. I mean, I wish we could actually judge this final round on their dance skills as well. If they don't want to engage in the action, let them dance the night away. It looks like you on a Saturday night, Joe, dancing your night away on the Soy Cowboy. And that is the end of the fight, the end of the main event, and we're going to go to the judges' scorecards.
So we'll see in just a second as the referee goes and collects the scorecards. This will be an interesting one. High-paced action. And Samur, it is a draw between both fighters. A very close fight. Wow. Fantastic action by both fighters there.
Absolute. What a fantastic fight. I mean, both fighters, I think, deserve to win that fight as well. So a draw seems fair to me. Just a great fight. And both fighters, like we said, they knew it was close. And both fighters thought they won it, and they wanted to give each other time off. Let's see some action replays here, Joe.
Look at that swinging leg kick from that last exchange. Beautiful work there by Petch Mongkol. But it really was such an even fight. So close, hard to tell what was going on. Beautiful stabbing knee there from George, gripping on in the third and fourth rounds. But it was round 1 and 2 for me for Petch Mongkol. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was so close. I do think Petch Mongkol was doing just enough to win that fight, but then there was that round in the third where George just absolutely came alive and was landing everything and pulling out every trick in the